Hello, YouTube. This is Set Free from the Trap Life Ministry. Set Free from the Trap Life Ministry. I'm on here to speak to the hip hop listeners, those who listen to explicit hip hop lyrics, those who listen to explicit hip hop lyrics every single moment, every single day in the car. You listen to explicit hip hop lyrics, and then when something happened to one of these rappers that you're worshiping, now everybody is on the floor crying. When just a couple of minutes ago, you was just celebrating doing wrong. Celebrating wrong. People who get in their car and ride down the street and celebrate explicit lyrics, celebrating doing wrong. They celebrate it. Doing wrong is celebrated in hip hop. It's celebrated. There is a celebration. But the main people that's listening to these explicit lyrics, when something happened to some of these rappers, then everybody's crying. We need to stop the violence. People who celebrate doing wrong when they get in the car and they turn on explicit hip hop lyrics. When you turn on explicit hip hop lyrics, you celebrate doing wrong with the lyrical content. You helping that rapper to push that violent message. Those who Proverbs 2:14, for those who enjoy doing evil and rejoice in the twistedness of evil. So people in the hip hop music industry, they cry when something happened to some of these rappers. But the man or woman who get in the car every day, you ride down the road, you turn on those violent hip hop lyrics, and you celebrate doing wrong, and you try to justify it. You let your kids listen to it. You try to force people to listen to your violent hip hop lyrics. Proverbs 2:14, for those who enjoy doing evil and rejoice in the twistedness of evil. So you got young men and women who go down the road in the car and who celebrate doing wrong. But when something happened to some of these rappers that you're worshiping, now everybody on the ground crying. But just a couple of minutes ago, you were celebrating it. The world celebrate doing wrong. Doing wrong is celebrated. It's doing wrong is celebrated. Nobody want to celebrate following Christ. Nobody want to do that. But the young man that turn the explicit lyrics up so high, you don't care if it busts your eardrums. You don't care. The young man or woman that turn up the explicit lyrics, you're celebrating doing wrong. This world celebrates it. But what happened when the rapper you listening to, now something happened to him? Now everybody's crying, talking, you need to stop it. Why all this stuff happening to the rappers? When you were just celebrating doing wrong. You helping him push a violent message. You ride in the car every day. People who celebrate doing wrong, when they get in the car and they turn on explicit hip hop lyrics, you don't care who out there, where they at. Those lyrics got your mind so much you will do anything that rapper say. If that rapper told you to lick on the ground, you'll do it. You got men and women that are in love with celebrating doing wrong. And if somebody else is not celebrating with you, then you'll get upset. Oh, something wrong with them. But hip hop, hip hop is no good. I'm talking about the lyrical content. Celebrate doing wrong every day. They celebrate it. But the person that's listening, that's celebrating doing wrong, when you get in your car and you turn on those lyrics, you can't deal with what happened to the rapper you worshiping. The rapper you worshiping got caught up and something happened to him. Now everybody crying. Then you turn back on the same violent digital album and continue to celebrate. People in this world talking about they don't like violence, but you sure celebrate it every day. You celebrate about what you listen to and the way you act, because what you listen to does affect you. Proverbs 2:14, those who enjoy doing evil and rejoice in the twisting of wickedness. You see young men all in the public rapping violent lyrics, celebrating doing wrong, but you can't deal with the consequences of it. You can't deal with it. There's consequences. Words are like seeds. Those lyrics are like seeds. Those lyrics are starting to have an effect on people. When people get in the car and listen to those lyrics, they forget where they at. They get caught up in those lyrics. Hip hop is full of hypocrites. It's hypocrites in hip hop. You celebrate doing wrong, but you can't deal with the consequence. All the people that's in love with violent hip hop lyrics, you tune into all these websites and stuff where all these rappers are talking noise, but you can't deal with when the rapper get arrested or when the rapper something happen to him. The Bible says you reap what you sow. Reaping and sowing, reaping and sowing, reaping and sowing, reaping and sowing. Words are like seeds. Celebrate doing wrong. Celebrate the people who are listening to it. There's a way, there's a way of life that looks harmless. The life that they're telling y'all, it looks harmless, but it leads to heartbreak. It leads to heartbreak. And they continue to support that, and you continue to justify it. Oh, I'm not doing nothing wrong. It's just music. It ain't about no music. It's about the lyrical content. You let your babies, you let your kids listen to it, and you continue to celebrate. You don't care who up in the morning or whatever. You'll go down the street loud because you're in love with your violent lyrics. This is my music. This is our music. Celebrate doing wrong. But when somebody hands you a CD or a digital album that's not cussing, you don't want it. You think it's whack because you so used to listening to violent stuff. Hip hop is very violent. It's not the world, it's the people. Doing wrong is celebrated. It's doing wrong is celebrated. That's why so many rappers are being taken out. Think about the people that's listening to it. They being deceived too. People continue to ride in their cars, celebrate doing wrong. It seems right. There is a way of life that seems harmless. It seems harmless. There is a way of life that looks harmless. It looks harmless. As you ride in your car, let down your window, and you act crazy just like the rapper do. You don't care what happened to you. You so in love. That's my jam. It may be cussing and call a woman out by her name, but you still gonna listen to it and try to justify it. Doing wrong is celebrated by the listener, the person who's in love with explicit lyrics. You celebrate doing wrong every day and you think it's right. The rapper that got in your mind. There is a way of life that looks harmless. It looks harmless what you're listening to. It looks like it's harmless. Again, it leads straight to hell. Surely people appear to be having a good time. It seems like they're having a good time talking about all the people that hurting, all the wrong stuff they doing, but you continue to celebrate it. When you be the main one to put your hand up talking about stop the violence. That's being a hypocrite. That's a hypocrite. There's hypocrite people who listen to explicit lyrics. When a young man can sit in a room or sit in his house and listen to explicit lyrics all single day, you think that's not gonna mess with your mind? And then you try to justify it. Celebrating doing wrong ain't cool. Celebrating going to the penitentiary, celebrating out, and you think it's funny. Ain't nothing wrong. And you ride down the street, you don't care who listening. You're in love with your explicit lyrics day in and day out. That's why so many people are acting crazy because of what they're listening to. It's the lyrical content. That's what you celebrate. Celebrating going to the penitentiary, celebrating doing wrong. And when somebody says something, you try to justify it. There is a way of life. The way of life that the rapper is telling you, it looked like it's harmless. Again, it leads straight to hell. Surely people, they appear to be having a good time. They appear to be having a good time glorifying the street life, but it all ends in heartbreak. Those lyrics end in heartbreak. You let your daughter listen to it, you let your kids listen to it. Hip hop is heartbreaking. Hip hop is heartbreaking. But the man or woman that's listening to that, you celebrating doing wrong, but you're trying to justify it. You're justifying it. It's the lyrics you're listening to. You don't wanna know the truth of God. You don't want to know the truth of Jesus Christ. You don't want to know it. And what they rapping about leads straight to hell. What they rapping about leads to hell. They appear to be having a good time rapping about doing wrong, but it leads straight to hell. And the people that's listening to it, they being deceived. The listener that's listening to explicit lyrics and celebrating doing wrong, you're being deceived and you don't really care. but you be the main one. I don't like what's going on in the world, but you celebrating doing wrong every day. People who celebrate doing wrong when they get in the car and you turn on explicit lyrics, man, those lyrics got your mind so gone you don't even remember what day it is. The rap got your mind, but hip hop sure do love to cry. You celebrate the rapper doing wrong, you celebrate it, but then when something happened to him, everybody's crying. Now everybody in hip hop want to pray. Now everybody want Jesus. That's the type of world we live in. The world celebrate doing wrong, but the world can't deal with the consequences. It says there's a way of harmless. All that stuff they're rapping about, it looks harmless. Again, it leads straight to hell. Surely people appear to be having a good time. It seems like they're having a good time, but all the laughter will end in heartbreak. Those lyrics end in heartbreak. But you say you don't like violence, and but you celebrate doing wrong. This world is full of people who celebrate doing wrong and try to justify it. That's why a lot of young girls are dressing like they're dressing. It's all about the lyrics in hip hop, the lyrical content, the lyrical content. If they wasn't cussing in it, you wouldn't buy it. That's why you listen to it. Oh, that's my jam, calling a woman out her name, but you try to justify it. I pray for the people who are trying to justify it. People don't want to hear the truth of God because they're in love. You're in love with your violent lyrics. The young man that's walking around mean mugging, looking at folks. I mean, he been listening to those lyrics. Those explicit lyrics will do something to your brain. Explicit lyrics will affect your mind. You can't go a day without listening to that. But you say you don't like what's going on in the community, but you're celebrating doing wrong. The young man and woman that gets in the car and turn that on every day, it's got your mind. It's got you. Those lyrics have taken over your mind. So I pray for the young man and woman who think they jamming. And what are they rapping about in hip hop? Nothing. They're not rapping about nothing. But you listen to it though, because it's got your mind. Because you think that's life. That ain't life. Bye bye.